Hi everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 5. So today I thought we could switch it up a little bit and I could just share my current makeup routine with you, but I will do it kind of more vloggy style. So honestly, I've had the same makeup routine pretty much for probably a few years now. Obviously a few products, swap and change every now and then, but not very often at all if I'm honest. So what I like to do is literally just dump all my makeup in front of me and then just put it back as I go. So let's do that. Right, so my first step is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I wasn't using primer for the longest time and I spoke to, I think it was my boyfriend's sister, and she was like, you need to be using primer. I just never really thought it did much for me, but I can definitely notice a difference with this one. I think it's just about finding the right primer. And just so you know, my skin is really oily, so my opinions are based off of that. Obviously these products all work really well for my skin. Doesn't mean they'll work amazingly for your skin, but I just absolutely love all of these products. So that's that, and it is as sticky as they say, so it just makes everything stick a little bit better. So recently I've been absolutely loving the Made by Mitchell Truth Tint. This is all I've been using as my base for quite a while now. It's just such a nice base, and especially for oily skin. I find that my face gets so oily throughout the day and I have to blot way less with this, and I haven't found another base that's quite like it. Obviously technically it is a skin tint, so it's not like the most coverage I've ever had in a base, but I just, you know, just use my concealer to cover it up. That's what concealer's for. So anything I need to extra coverage on, I just use that. But I just think it's so worth it. It's just such a good base. I usually use probably about that much, and then I use a beauty blender to blend it in with, and I've always used the Real Techniques beauty blender. It just goes on so easily. It matches my skin perfectly. And personally, I hadn't heard like loads of raving reviews about this tint before I started using it. It was just on sale and I thought, you know what, give it a go, just because honestly I really do love makeup and I love trying new things. So I just decided to give it a go, but I can't believe more people aren't absolutely raving about it, because I absolutely love it. Like, I've tried loads of drugstore skin tints as well and I haven't found one that's anywhere near as good as this. Okay, and for concealer I use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I've used this for years now. I used to use the I think it's the Collection Lasting Perfection one. It's only about £3 or £4 from a drugstore, which is really good, but this is just incredible. And honestly, I just find it so worth it because this lasts me probably about 9 to 12 months, honestly. I just think, you know, the price is actually worth it in the end, because with the little drugstore ones, you end up having to buy one pretty much every month anyway. I just think in the end, this is actually worth it. I do put a little bit on my cheeks just because I do suffer with a bit of redness on my cheeks, so I like to cover that up a little bit, and obviously just any spots that I might have, and obviously under the eyes to brighten. I am in no way a makeup artist, as you'll be able to tell throughout this video. This is just how I like to do my makeup every day. Okay, and then I like to go in with a bit of cream contour. So I think this is technically a concealer. I think it's a Revolution one, and it's in the shade, I think it said Deep Caramel, but honestly it's all rubbed off. But I just like to use this as a little bit of contour and then just blend that in. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Real Techniques sponges, I've actually found these were really good. So I think someone got these for me for Christmas one year, just beauty blenders from Shein, but they're actually really good, especially when you dampen them. I definitely need to dampen that again to give it a little bit more plumpness back to it, but they're actually really good. And I find that sometimes the cheaper beauty blenders are really hard, even with more expensive ones than this, but these are actually really good. So if you're looking for a cheap alternative, definitely give these a go. They're actually a light grey colour when they've not got makeup all over them, so these definitely need a wash. Okay, and then for cream blush, I have been using, again, the Made by Mitchell blush, and this is in the shade Bella Blossom. But again, I ordered it, I think it was on sale at the time, and I just thought, you know, I'll give it a go. Obviously, I had seen loads of reviews about this because everybody loves the blush collection, but I can totally understand why now. Like, I hadn't fed into the whole hype of it for years, and now I wish I did because they're really good. Okay, and then on to powder. So for powder, I use the Laura Mercier translucent loose powder. Just put some of that in the top, and then I use one of these just to place it under my eyes and mainly on my T-zone. I just like to press it in a bit more because, as I said, I am oily, so the T-zone is really where I concentrate it. And again, with the Laura Mercier powder, I have known it to last me like 9 to 12 months again, so that's just why I keep purchasing it, because in the end I just think it's worth it, honestly, because my drugstore ones do only last about a month, so you know, in the end it just makes sense to me, and it is the best one I've tried. Oh, and my brushes are mainly from Real Techniques. I think pretty much most of them are from a Real Techniques collection of some sort. Okay, and now I'm all matte, I can move on to my eyebrows. So I do have kind of a more old school attempt to my eyebrows. I do still kind of draw them on, if I'm honest, but that's because, like, look at them, you can barely see them if I don't have any product on, so that's why I do that. I have tried to do the whole like feathering technique with them to make them more fluffy and kind of do them that way, but honestly, because I've not got dark eyebrows, so I just don't think it really fits my face as well. Like, I love it when people do it and they've got like darker eyebrows and it really shows, but I just need that little bit of filling in my eyebrows. Right, and to set my eyebrows, I use the Got To Be glued kind of, I think it's an edges gel actually, for your hair, but I've just found this is the best gel I've used, so I just use that in my eyebrows. And as you can probably tell, it lasts ages because all of the actual branding has come off, so yeah, it is really good. Right, and onto powder contour. So this is a Smashbox, I think it's called the Cali Contour palette. I've had this for a long time. Again, I've literally used it to death. So this is the bronzer shade, which is pretty much all gone, as you can tell. This is the contour shade, which again is literally on its last legs. But I can't really find another powder contour, so if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. But I just absolutely love this, and I don't really want to repurchase like a palette when I only really use that colour, and I don't actually even know if they still do this. So, but yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions, please. I literally just put a little bit in the hollows of my cheeks and then a little bit along my jawline, just to give me a little bit of shape. And on to bronzer. So I use the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Again, very well loved, not long hit pan on this. I've used this for honestly years, and I just always end up coming back to it. It's just so good. And I just use that on my cheeks, on my forehead, and then I'll run a little bit down the sides of my nose like this. I kind of like flatten it out like that, and then obviously on the forehead. Right, and then I literally just dab an eyeshadow brush into my bronzer and just kind of put it in the crease and kind of all over my lid, really. Just focus it on that outer corner, and it just gives me more depth to my eyes. That's why I do this. But you know, this is the best shade I've found, honestly. I just think it's the most natural, so I just use my bronzer. I just feel like it brings the depth back to your eyes again, especially after putting like foundation and concealer on your eyelids. And then I'll probably just run it down the edges of my nose again, and that's done. Okay, and onto powder blush. So I've been absolutely loving this buttermilk blush from NYX. This one's in the shade Butter Together, and I just find that the Made by Mitchell blush and this one go really well together, and it's honestly so pigmented, like you really don't need a lot at all. I always just put some on the end of my nose. Then we're on to highlighter. So this is the highlighter I use. This is the iconic MAC highlighter in the shade Soft and Gentle. I just use kind of, I think this is actually meant to be an under eye brush to like swipe away powder. I think that's what a lot of people use it for, but I just really love it for highlighter. On the end of my nose and the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and then a little bit on my chin, and then focus back on my cheeks. And then I use a little brush like this and just put it under my eyebrow and then on the inner corner of my eyes. And then my eyelashes are actually quite naturally curly anyway, but I do just give them a little bit of a curl with the eyelash curler. I think this is just a Primark one, to be honest. And then for mascara, so there is actually 2 mascaras that I've been using. So I've been switching between the Bad Girl Bang mascara from Benefit and this Lancome one. I think this is the Idol one. I actually really love them both, but they are both on their last legs, so I'm kind of just switching between them both. So I think today I'm going to go with the Benefit Bad Girl Bang mascara. I just find that with both of these mascaras, they're really easy to like build length. I generally do actually am blessed with actually quite long eyelashes anyway, but sometimes I find that mascaras don't really do the length of my lashes justice. So these ones actually really do. They're really nice to build up on the ends of your eyelashes. Like, look at that. And then obviously I do just use a little bit on the bottom lashes. And for the last step, I've got the Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. So I literally just spray that all over my face. I think this is actually a dupe for an Urban Decay one, I think, if I remember rightly, but I actually think this is really good. It's genuinely really good, and it is really affordable as well, so really like that. If I'm feeling a little bit extra, I do use this Pillow Talk Charlotte Tilbury lip liner on my lips. I don't like anything too heavy on my lips on the day-to-day, so this is pretty much what I do. And then just get the lipstick and literally just dab it in the middle. Honestly, just don't even put it on properly. I just dab it because this is the nicest colour I think I can get out of this lipstick. For me, because I'm so pale, this is my ideal lip colour. And obviously, if you properly rub it on, it does go a little bit darker. So I just do it like this. And then for a bit of gloss, I use the Dior lip oil in, I think this is Rosewood. And I just love this. And if I'm not really in the mood for a colour, I will just put this on and I just love it. Right, so that's the end of my makeup routine. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye!